Welcome to IttocStories, where ideas fold into stories and the invasion of your mind is already completed. Dive into Diablo 2 with a whole new look at the Nephilim. We shall enter this grand adventure together. Today we continue with a look into Jill Booma's journey through Sanctuary. We are now on Act 2 Nightmare. Has Jamali been discovered? What does the blood of the willing contain versus the blood of the innocent? What secrets will be unfolded as Jill Booma fights against the power of the Soul Stone in search of the Ebonheart? Can the mummies of the Horadric buried under the sands shine light on the mysteries of the high heavens? Or will darkness consume Lut Gholein? We arrive in the city of Lut Gholein. They call it the Jewel of the Desert. It looks far from that now, though. The city speaks of the Dark Wanderer. Ever since he passed through these parts, the world has not been the same. Strange things wandering in the shadows. Tales of death and disappearances. And the lack of control of Jaren, the leader of the city, who has left the defense of the city in the hands of mercenaries as he grovels in his palace. I fear these people are too judgmental of their leader, who most likely has their best interest at hand and is guarding from far darker things. An essence comes from that palace, far beneath the earth. Something calling to me. I've been wary of cities and of many people. My cadence has fallen from grace. I've given Jamali the pleasure of interrogation. His words find more movement on their tongues than mine ever would. The pounding heartbeat in my head, the dried voices in my mind, taunting, calling, damning me from within. The inhabitants don't really need to explain. The sounds from under the city speak of the truth of it. Corruption laid bare for all to see. None yet have the power to stop it. When the world falls from your hands, there is naught but to hide the light of your own eyes and dim your mind. The numb of existence shall consume these souls. I still have light within me. I wish to help. Even through the hate and anger, I can see salvation for these people, even if I can hold my consciousness together, control my body and maintain my vision, defeat the hordes of hell, become the supreme being. I roll these thoughts through my head as the heat of the wind on my cheeks pumps the sweat from my pores. The sand, an endless muse of ire, clinging to everything, an itchy, corroding feeling. The longer I'm here, the more it seeps into my clothing, caresses my skin, and hugs my very essence. Making it across the plaza towards the palace, Jamali returns with news from the leader of the city. Jaren speaks of defending his people. I look towards his guards, and they look away. He cannot even defend himself. A great evil is leaked into the city through the sewers. People missing in the night, screams and cries from inhuman lips. The torture of not knowing if you were next was sending the townspeople into a numb sleep. I saunter to a guard and begin to question his loyalty as he points his spear at my throat. I apologize and press the blade away with a smirk. His name is Wakid. I tell him there may come a day when he will be free from this evil, but I'm not sure if Jaren can bring it. I press him for the knowledge of the dead. He speaks of a rumor, a being called Radamant, a corrupted official buried alive. His calls for revenge, sucking the very people from this land. I place my hand on his shoulder, and looking into his eyes, a simple nod confirms through his eyes the belief and hope that was not even a mere spark before. I nod to Jamali, feigning readiness. I use all my might to avoid wobbling as I march towards the sewers, barely able to contain my excitement over the slaughter. Before the establishment of this city, the surrounding sands were an ancient burial site for the great horadric, scholars and mages of the lost eras of sanctuary. Times when the power of men rivaled demons, the blood of mortals brought power and life to the world. Now we are weak, scared and helpless, scattered to the wind, our blood thinned, bred into a swine of regret and deplorable derision. I can feel the souls of the dead here. They speak to me through the stone, as if I am consuming their very essence. A being of light, pierces through the rest. A voice like sweet bread, puffy and warm. A sensation I've not relived in decades. The veil lifts from my eyes, but for a moment, clarity to reset my orientation. My purpose is shifted from savior to ruler. I was not saving these people, I was preparing them. Radament's voice screeches over the calm. My mind fills with red. Jamali calls out, but it's no use. I'm flying towards the enemies, no care for my own survival, no thought that these could harm me. Straight to the source. My blades pulverize his broken, decaying body. Soul being absorbed into me, the knowledge of his life free in my mind, a deprived man with single thought of power, gained through abuse and lies, stood atop them all for a time. Even the mighty must fall, so this puny being could not last but a year. With his fall, my mind is cleared once more. The voice speaks of the willing blood, my mission, the soul stone, the ebon heart, the rise of the angels. By the light he tells me to travel the tombs to the desert to locate the scroll of the horadric. Leaving the city, me and Jamali comb the rocky waste for the first tomb. Forces of darkness fight hard to prevent our discovery. They are growing in knowledge, and as we trek these lands, our true nature will be revealed to these demons, making them press even harder against the light. But none can stop me. Within these ancient walls lay the servants of the great kings, simple horadric pilgrims following in the wake of the great sages. They tell me the scrolls of power are hid and are not meant for mortal eyes. Only an angel can look upon them without turning to dust. With a new caution on our fingers, the chest looms, with this piece of the scroll and the souls of the dead pointing us towards the next destination. The halls of the dead. The heat of the desert has taken its toll on me. No water or bread can sustain me. I feel my skin falling from my bones, my stomach curling in on itself as the soul stone in my head brings more and more power to my body. A guide that is not of the flesh presses my mind into the torment of the damned, calling for the blood of the innocent and the death of light. In this dark underground, the only light is what you bring with you. Ancient kings tell of times when the world was failing, evil was seeping in, and the madness of men made many a new contraption. With the knowledge of heaven and hell, they used the blood of men to call rituals of demonic and angelic power alike, creating a rift in the world where the beings banished from sanctuary could once again gain a new foothold. These noble, scholarly men show me the world as it was, as it is meant to be. But most importantly, they show me the way to return to that era, to bring peace and prosperity to Sanctuary, to know the true nature of the world, head to the maggot lair to retrieve the key to the secret hold inside the Claw Viper Temple. With this chest, another piece of the scroll, only one piece remains. Leaving the cold, dark damp of the tombs, the smell of death and decay lingering on my clothes, I looked at Jamali, his face looking down, not meeting my eyes. It's been days since we had a camp. Now, sitting at this oasis, a fire in the dark, the forces of hell far from our minds. And I still cannot bring myself to be jolly or playful. I'm the stubborn, dull shell, a fragment of my old self. And I know Jamali can see it. Once I had felt something with that thought, now I only feel empty, alone, naked in the dark. And I dreamt of the ancient maggot and its beast devouring all in ancient times. Around one of their necks, a key, a jewel, to the Claw Viper Temple. Then into the Great Maw, and erased from existence. This hole is covered in slime and insects, sand and stone. Hit in the desert, ready to swallow you whole. Single file, we work our way into the depth of the beast. Maggots and beetles, flies and bones, rotten flesh and grueling mucus dripping onto us. Mindless beasts are no match for our arms. Bali has a tough time in cramped spaces with his polearm. My feet and fists are perfect for this small space. We bury deeper into this death hole, praying that it not collapse in on us. It is calming to slaughter animals and not things that used to be men. The sound of death throes for these mindless packs is a soothing of my soul. How the mother of them all is before us, not a foe to worry us, yet a needle in a haystack. The key to the temple calling out as a light burns through the decaying corpse. Key unlike any I have seen, a throng jewel of multicolors, like all the gems of the world melted into one. Leaving that foul lair with the key in hand, the desert heat and wind staining our moods even darker. I want to fall to my knees and call to the heavens and relieve me of this burning, as if by fate. A darkness rolls across the world. I look to Jamali and we look to the sky. The sun is being darkened. A black seeping orb floats across the great giver of light. Now, in the dim haze of dusk, we trek towards an abandoned ancient outpost. Despite the loss of light, the winds burn ever hotter, as if the very flames of hell stoke them. A lineage of power presses towards me. Minds of men who ruled in secret. Advisors, planners, strategists. All unknown to history, but their deeds have shaped the world. I can feel their whispers in my head, telling me their story, delivering their prayers, fulfilling their hopes. But one voice rushes above the others. Wakid, his name rolls off my tongue. The guard at the palace. His lineage is ancient, taken to silence by vows of power. Things he sees never leave his lips. With this, the spirit gives me information to turn the tides of knowledge. We're in a war against a superior enemy. The only weapon that can defeat it is its own. And upon this last chest, the final piece of the scroll, but I dare not put them together. Only in the presence of an angel shall it be done. For I dare not tempt fate for dust.
To you.
With this new finding, we return to town to seek an audience with Jaren. The people of this place are less wary now. They have seen how we can be of use. Whether they trust us or not is of no consequence, as long as they allow us to stay and free them from the clutches of hell. That is all there is to it, even though we would continue our journey without their consent, if by the cover of darkness be needed. Jaren speaks of the eclipse and ancient prophecy, that he has told his people that this is not a sign of the end, but a new beginning. This means the final battle for the seal has begun. The Horadrim have foretold that a being will come to open the way to the Canyon of the Magi, bring the most powerful souls from the Horadrim back into Sanctuary to share the knowledge of the past, the history of the world, and the ways of prosperity back to the people. After speaking with Jaren, Cain, and Joaquin, the way forward was in that lost city, some dread corner of it where the sands had consumed the very existence of such fouled worship, the Claw Viper Temple. The darker forces that fought against the Horadrim in the old days used and wrapped and warped the magics around them. Unlike the Horadrim, who only used knowledge, these beings craved power. They sold their souls to evil and bred with animals to create the Viper Men. The temple entrance is before me. Half filled with sand, me and Jamali squeeze into the entrance. Cold overtakes us, like eyes burning into our souls. These broken halflings scrying for our eyes. Their broken, deformed bodies twisted more than their minds. We have no trouble crushing these foes, clearing a path as we go deeper into this damned place. Dwelling gasps and points at the walls. Bringing our torches up close, my mind explodes in imagery. The Horadrim in ancient times, a war between demons and angels, an endless war with no sight of victory or defeat across the horizon of time. Select few who wished not to wage this endless, useless fight pulled together their knowledge and power. Demons and angels working together to create a world away from their war. This is the birth of Sanctuary. The murals on the walls, they depicted all. The knowledge and context and understanding just flooding my mind as we followed it into the depths. I do not know if Jamali is having the same experience as me, but from the look in his eyes, he understands at least enough. We enter the final chamber. A speck of light shines down from the ceiling onto an altar. This is the source of the eclipse. Break this seal and open the way to the canyon. First, we must deal with the demons. These vipers have no thought. They are not men, simple beings with only bloodlust on their minds. All but one. This elite has a single thought. Stop the breaking of the seal. He is no mighty foe, but he does stand above the rest. With his corpse at my feet, I look upon the seal and see the notches. Placing the key in the gem inside of it, turning, my hand moves without my command, unlocking the depths, and within it, a light. The orb rises into the ceiling, and a burst of light enters the entire cavern. The piltry light from the ceiling, no more a tiny grain, but a sun itself. Now glowing in the entire chamber, the mural fully visible across the walls, floors, and even the roof. I know now what I must do. It has been revealed. I speak to Jaren and Joaquin. The palace is now open to me. The truth revealed. The palace has been invaded by the dead. The hordes of hell seek a gateway to Talrasha's tomb, the greatest horadrim. Joaquin speaks of the willing, the ones who followed Talrasha, his most devout servants. They sacrificed themselves along with him to contain the primeval Baal, his followers to seal the canyon with a bridge realm, the arcane sanctuary, the portal to which lies at the bottom of the palace. The reason the enemy is so bold and desperate to claim this land. The blood of the willing flows through here, the bodies of dead women, needles and tubes connected, bleeding them on one side, feeding them on the other. Puffs of opium smoke cloud the air, the soft moans and groans of these patients soaking the very air. Into the cellar we delve, crushing beast and undead beneath us. None shall stand in the way of Jilbuma. I will be the head of the world, the sole being of power, the one to dictate right and wrong. Let these ants grovel at my feet as I slay them for my pleasure. In a frenzy, I turn and raise my blade. His face is blank, his eyes shining like emeralds. He does not even try to defend himself. That is how much he trusts me. The blade an inch from his neck, he smiles. He can see the fear and pain in my eyes, the twinkle of something deep inside me breaking. I calm myself and take a deep breath, pulling the blade away from Jamali's throat. Without a word, we continue deeper. There it is, the portal. It's inactive. The forces of hell cannot open it. They guard it with a tiny, measly being, Fire Eye. What a joke! Now bereft of foes, we study this strange device. I hear a voice in my head as I press my hand towards it. A beam of light shoots from the crystal atop the arch. Then a sparkle and shimmer of divine light as the rift to another realm opens before us. The arcane sanctuary. With the blood of the willing, the portal between realms has been established. Blood of the Nephilim, the final ingredient. Now in this strange plane of existence, me and Jamali dare not look down. The pit of open space, no walls, only floating platforms. The stars glinting like diamonds, lighting our way. The demons here are different. They do not have the stench of hell upon them. Another controls these. They are fades of themselves, lost wandering beings. The age of time does not pass here. For them it can be eternity or seconds. I tell Jamali that we must keep vigilance of our minds. If we are not careful, the void could swallow us whole. With these narrow paths and strange warped spaces, portals and stairs, I fall behind Jamali. I cannot let my bloodlust prevail. The warmth of the high heavens burns in my chest. My blood will not turn to the darkness. I will endure, for I am the only one who can save this world. Why do I care for this world? What has it ever done for me? Have I not been cursed as well by it? Lost everything I have cared for? Raised to kill? Bled of feeling? Devoid of purpose? Just a machine. And I killed them. And he found me, and then I killed him. Monster in me did. My own master. Memories flooding me, holding me to this place, consuming my will. A sharp pain, and then another. I come to my senses. Jamali is staring at me, my cheeks red with the impact. He slapped me. He yells at me to get my head in the game. I shake my head and pinch my arm. No more sleeping, no more losing myself. The pain bringing me back to my senses. I need to let some of these hit me to keep me going. Jamali knows how to maintain himself. I am falling apart. He does not blame me. It was deed in the stone. There is only hope if I can keep myself sane. Without me, the world is doomed. Seemed like eons we've been tracking this place. It goes on forever in all directions. Somehow, though, I'm guided like a force calling to me. A long-distance ebb on the wind, a spark in the night, a voice. The dark wanderer, the soul stone, twins. Words flood my head. Companion, sorcerer. The light of thought strikes me. The warrior who defeated Diablo and Tristram. He had 2 companions. We had already dealt with Bloodraven, the fallen rogue, but now we faced the Summoner, the last of the trio. His magic is mighty, but my blades prevail. He crumples to the floor. His last words a prayer of thanks, freeing him from this eternal prison. With our foes vanquished, nothing stood against us. The tome upon the pedestal, the words spoken from the runes on the page. The portal opens before us. The way to the canyon is open. The way to Tal Rasha. The way to salvation. This place is cut off from space and time, just like Sanctuary is to Hell and Heaven. Like the Arcane Sanctuary was to Loot Golain. Like Tristram was to Westmarch. The Karen Stones. They must have been an old method before the true mages, like Horizon, evolved the use of magic. It is said this is the reason for the rifts that allowed Hell into Sanctuary. The more the mortals became aware of how to use the world to their advantage, the more they broke it apart from within. Using the blood of innocent, they created a magic so powerful it could split reality. When enough blood of the innocent, blood of the guilty, and blood of the willing are combined, only then can the gates to Sanctuary be opened. A soul stone, an ebon heart, and something even greater. Visions of the tomb and the symbol loom before me. The minds of kings past rushing through my head. The thoughts and sights of these great men from the past. Their folly and fortune. Their rise and fall. Their feats and grievances. Into the darkness, me and Jamali go. 2 beings of will, pressing our hands to the evil that infests this place, sending it back to whence it came. Death unfolding in a graceful path before us. Jamali falls behind, as he knows my mind. I fall into foe for a while. I crush these petty beings before me, my all-supreme being and might unleashing its force upon the hordes. The slaughter strengthening me. I cry out in pleasure as I kick and punch my way through the tomb. Nothing can stand in my way. Light in the back of my mind, a voice, then multiple, all calling for me to return. The red in my eyes subsides as my body becomes mine once again. Jamali places his hand on my shoulder, and I nod, breathing heavily, stretching as I prepare for more carnage. The light in my mind speaks, telling me of the power that blood holds. The blood of demons and angels has its own power, but the mating of the 2, the creation of the mortals, and the diluting of the blood has created a new power, a power of will. When the blood of the innocent is gathered and empowered, the prison of hate, a soul stone, is created. This traps the demonic essence. However, if the blood of the willing is gathered, with the same process, it is not a soul stone that emerges, but an ebon heart. This traps angelic essence. I look towards Jamali. The spark of an angel lies in him, but he does not have Nephilim blood. Could he be a mortal with an ebon heart? Before the thought takes hold, the orifice stands before me. With Staff of Kings in hand, Jamali opens the way to the final chamber. The screams of the dead and the smell of death wait for us. the roar of a beast, Duriel, the guardian. Why would a demon protect this place? There's something wrong. The power emanating from the chamber is not demonic. It is angelic and not just any angel, an archangel. I don't know how, but I know. Have I been here before? The memories of my past lives, the premonitions of the future. Clog in my mind over my position in time has caused a dissonance that breaks my focus. Duriel sends me flying. I crash into the wall, spitting up blood. I turn to watch Duriel impale Jamali, his spear still striking against the demon's hide, bouncing and crashing, but slower and slower. It stopped and fell from his hand, the light fading from his eyes, and Duriel threw him to the wind. My vision blurred, wet drops on my arms, then a burst of pain and power. I lunged forwards, with all my might charging everything I had, unleashing it upon his soul. I struck him down, crushing his body into itself. Duriel crumpled to the floor, a shell bursting open, his guts and slime and blood and foulness of all kinds erupt from it. I rush over to Jamali. His body almost split in two, where his heart should be. A stone of such pure color, it was hard to look away. Was this the ebon heart? I took Jamali in my arms, and as the ground began to shake, I had a thought. Reach in and pull it from his chest. End his life. Take it for myself. And then I punched myself in the jaw. How dare I think such a thing? I'd pick up Jamali and take him in my arms, cursing myself. As the ground shakes even more, I flee deeper into the chamber. The chamber is empty. I call out to anyone, anywhere, anything, help! The stone altar across the bridge, the runes of blood upon it, I can feel their power. I rush towards it and channel my strength through it, then through Jamali. His eyes begin to gain light, his wound begins to close, his hand flexes. I could cry, but I think I already am. I cover my face. He places his arm on my shoulder. Comfort will be my guiding light. Let me never forget this moment and this feeling, pure bliss. We return to Loot Lane in victory. A celebration met us upon return. Jaren and Wakid had prepared the whole city for our victory. For if we failed, they would die anyways. So the hopes were always set in the minds to be free. Might as well go out with a bang. Food and festivity are had, but I must depart, I tell them. Jaren says Mashif can take me across the great sea. Perhaps there I can seek out more evil, cleanse more of sanctuary. He says I am always welcome in his city, and he wishes good fortune and health, and of course, victory for the battles to come.
You should be thankful that I don't charge you for ferrying you across the sea.
Across the endless sea, the second time I've been on a ship. Or is it my first? These days, I know now of much. I simply cling to Jamali. Together, we will conquer all of this evil. Another D2r story, Act 2, Nightmare complete. What'd you guys think? How does the story feel for you so far? What are your predictions for Jilbuma? Will she be able to conquer the demons in the Soul Stone? Or will there be one day that she does not return from the red? Find out when we continue the journey! Thanks for sticking around and watching to the end. I really appreciate you. So, if you're into Diablo, you probably know Reign of the Warlock was just released. Due to this, we will be pausing Jilbuma's journey and entering a brand new one. Alavikok's Awakening is before us. Tune in next time for a fundamentally new experience with this new D2r DLC, the Warlock. This is going to be an experimental new work. I want to do something different to celebrate this historic moment of a DLC for D2R after almost 30 years. So, hope you are looking forward to it. So, until then, keep Sanctuary safe, my friends.